Well, it's been a good while since I made an episode of ADPCC, and I feel like I owe people an explanation. I mean, with the combined people that follow me on YouTube and Twitter, if you're paying attention, awesome. And it's my job to keep and maintain it. And I've been failing at that miserably, but I do have a good excuse. You know, there's so much to look at. Twitter's no longer Twitter; it's the X, and it's just really fascinating when so many things have been going on with me, and also in politics, and pretty much in society. And it's exciting to just explore that with fellow people that are also sharing that same passion as I do. But yeah, the reason for my long hiatus was that I recently got separated, working on getting a divorce and all that good stuff, which isn't good, but at the same time, it is what it is. And I am a very optimistic person. And I'm very lucky too, because out of a worst case scenario, I got the best situation out of a worst case scenario. You couldn't ask for a more cordial process. You couldn't ask for a more, fair process of like splitting the responsibilities and still doing good by the kids. So, I couldn't ask for a better situation for the scenario that it is. Of course, it's not something you anticipate when you're married. You're not like wanting things to, break apart. But it's not because of my political beliefs, in case you're wondering. There was a lot of things that were pretty much in agreement with politics and our personal beliefs. But, things don't work out. They don't work out. And there's some good things. And, it's time to move on with the next step of your life. And that's also exciting too. And, so far I can't complain about the new aspects and the future potential that lies ahead with me. So that looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm optimistic about that. And, I have a nice place. Can't complain. So aside from my personal issues that I've had to overcome, let's go ahead and dive into 2024 coming up. And, we're going to get a new president. And that means people are going to get political and they're going to get more opinionated. And it's just really interesting to see people posting on Facebook and just giving their opinions. And I found a video clip that just gives you a good, foresight of how people are paying attention. Because they're not. they're not focused on policy. And I'll give you a good example, Biden. You could go ahead and talk smack about Biden all day. I'm not going to be there to defend him. Most people didn't pick Biden as their first choice in the Democratic primary. But, when he had to go against Trump, people were like, well, I'd rather have Biden. So when people are in disbelief of how Biden's performing and why people supported Biden, Biden was never able to draw a crowd to a rally. Trump is a celebrity. So if you watch a lot of TV, a lot of reality shows, and you like wrestling, professional wrestling vibes, Trump's your man. I like policy. So if you're going to put legislation to lower the gas prices, that's the kind of stuff that affects me. Not talking smack to other politicians. I mean, that's cool, but it does mean nothing. And I just remember a lot of people criticizing Biden for the gas prices, and doesn't really control that. But now they're down. I don't see anybody giving them credit for that. I'm just saying, be consistent with your outrage. So, yeah, I'm just looking at all this stuff, and it's just really interesting to see how people are just, oh my gosh, yeah. I gotta start getting more active on the X, I guess. Yeah, it's really cool. And I'm probably going to make some lefties mad right now. I don't even know what I would label myself. I'm just really good at making arguments that, make sense to me. If they don't make sense to you, let's have a conversation and talk it out. So this video is going to give you the vibe of 2023 to coming into 2024 with the elections. I just feel like a lot of people are like Joe Rogan. And I'm a fan of Joe Rogan. But I think the COVID pandemic messed with his brain, and he's just had this boomer mentality since. And I just remember Joe Rogan being very afraid of COVID from the beginning. He was having so many people coming over his podcast to like let him know more about COVID because he was extra paranoid. But now he's just like, yeah, but he has Joe Rogan money. So people that want to be like Joe Rogan, do you have Joe Rogan money? No, you don't. So anyways, let's go ahead and hear what he has to say. He's talking smack about Biden, which by all means, feel free to, but just make sure it's true.
Well, there's people that voted for Biden that are doing it now. That they're like, what did I do?
Right.
Like, what did I choose? Like, how is this guy?
Yeah, you just can't listen to an interview where he's saying some of the stuff he says that just makes no sense at all. It's like you can't listen to those interviews and feel like you made a good decision. I don't know how.
Now, has Biden had slip-ups? Yes, he has. That's why they kept him in the basement, and that's why he sleeps all the time. Sleepy Joe, you know. But he maintains the status quo, which a lot of people don't like. And a lot of people don't like the word establishment. Joe Rogan's the establishment, by the way.
Did you hear what he said like yesterday or a couple of days ago? He's talking about the Revolutionary War. He's like, one of the reasons why we lost the Revolutionary War, one of the problems with the Revolutionary War was they didn't have enough airports.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I saw that. It's like, what the hell?
Like, pull him.
It's crazy.
If you had any other job and you were talking like that,
yeah,
they would go, hey, you're done.
Would that apply to Trump?
Few moments later.
The same stable genius that said the biggest problem we had in the Revolutionary War is we didn't have enough airports. Whoa.
That other guy's laughing, and Joe Rogan's an intelligent person. That's why I like Joe Rogan. Even if he makes a mistake, you can see him looking. He's like, oh, Biden didn't say that. He's referencing somebody else that said that. Joe Rogan has integrity. He might not have the best takes most of the time lately, but the other goofy guy's laughing in the background. It's just going in one ear out the other ear. He's not comprehending what they just saw.
Yeah, that's it.
Whoa.
Right,
What?
Just for the record.
Is that fake?
It's not fake, but he was referencing Trump saying that. Here's what Trump saying it in 2019.
Oh.
Donald Trump said something about that. He didn't say Jesus. He said a stable genius, and that's where the transcription.
Let me hear what it says. What did he say?
In June of 1775, the Continental Congress created a unified army out of the...
And people that aren't Joe Rogan fans, a person with Joe Rogan has the resources to edit this stuff out to make him look not as goofy if he was so worried about his image. But let's give credit to Joe, you know, having integrity, putting out him fact-checking himself, you know? That's cool. If more people did that, that would be a good thing. So I just see a lot of left-leaning political content creators just dogging on Joe Rogan again for this. And Joe Rogan isn't really right-leaning. He's pretty left-leaning. Does he have the best takes on everything? No. I mean, he's really wealthy, so you're going to have to realize people in his situation will probably be out of touch just a little bit.
Revolutionary forces encamped around Boston and New York and named after the great George Washington, Commander-in-Chief. The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our army manned the airports. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do.
Oh, okay.
It took over the airports. Yeah, George Washington. Yeah, I mean, this is not even something to, you know, give Trump a lot of grief over. But you could just see how people are so willing to jump on Biden, but not jump on Trump. You know, Biden shouldn't be a president. He should be taking off his duties because he can't make a coherent statement. And there's been incidents where he didn't make coherent statements during the Democratic primaries. But Trump has had many of his slip-ups as well. So it's just like ways to make people bicker. And I'm just like, stop. Instead of listening to this and looking like Joe Rogan, just like realizing this is silly. I look silly. Let's focus on policy. You know, when you have Democrats making legislation for price gouging practices for gas, for the high prices of gas, and all the Republicans not supporting that. That's why I kind of tend to vote Democrats because I benefit from that and I can make an argument instead of just talking about how people can't speak. I mean, I'm not going to get into that reality TV show conversation with people.
Yeah.
So he fucked up.
Yeah, he did. But I feel like
Took over
that's
the airport.
you can tell too. It sounds like a little different. He's like, you could tell he like messed up his words, but yeah, he's just, I don't know.
Took over the airports.
Well, that's
It
the
is
thing
funny.
about media these days. It's like
Right.
you
never
got to
know.
look into it.
Yeah, you got to look into it. But that guy was just a goof, man. I can't stand that guy's take. At least Joe Rogan had like a little bit like, yeah, I'm a dumbass. And I respect that because I do that to myself too. You know, I'm not going to be like, I know everything. I know of all there is to be known. But no, I think when I try to look, and I'm going to start engaging more on the X app, which was known as Twitter, I don't mind talking about relationships. That'd be kind of cool topic to discuss instead of just politics, because I think people's mental well-being is important for our society and also our politics. And then if there's any needs out there for people that, you know, just have issues, because I do see people, but you know, when I was happily married, I guess I saw people on social media that just didn't look like they're in good spots. And I would like to create a community, not just to support each other with policy and politics, but also, you know, in emotional needs and all that stuff too. Just to let you know that you're heard, man. And having conversations that I've had in the past, it was really cool to have discussions with people that we didn't align politically, but at the end, we actually had a connection and a bond. And I think I could grow on that. And that's something I wouldn't mind doing, you know. If you have a little gift, gift of the gab, and you make people feel good by having a conversation with them, I think that's something I would like to do as well. And I learn when I get to talk to people that are just more informed than I am. I had something lined up to talk about reparations, and I just haven't kept up with it because I was going to go ahead and do my, oh my goodness, Thomas Sowell review, because I finished his book and I had everything ready, but I had technical issues, and then, you know, my separation, it just kind of put the brakes on all that. So all the momentum for that just went down the toilet. So I do want to continue that because Thomas Sowell is a very interesting character, especially if you read his book. And I guess it depends on which one because he has many books. But he was not very, I guess, complimentary toward the Southerners of the South. Southerners of the South, you know. A lot of people like to make him look like he's like a conservative warrior, and he wasn't really flattering toward Trump with some of his criticisms too. So I just don't think people gave him a fair shake, and he does have things that I don't agree with. So those are things I would like to discuss eventually, but I just want to give you guys an update on how things are going, and I'll go ahead and make some more content probably once a week. Because I definitely want to get caught in that algorithm, especially with politics going to pick up with the election season coming. But aside from that, if you want to engage, let me just go ahead and put this back up. You can catch me on, I'll go ahead and try to stay more active with my X. That's such a goofy name. I'm not a big Elon Musk fan. I got to talk smack about Elon Musk. But I'm a different perspective with civil commentaries about real issues. And I'm also known as the casual radical. I consider myself radical because I'm willing to have those conversations with people. I don't care. I'm not here to insult you. I'm not here to win in a debate with you. I'm here to ask you questions and just weigh out your priorities and make people make compromises that benefits everybody instead of just like being so stubborn. So yeah. That's pretty much it for today. So hopefully everyone enjoys their Christmas, and I'll catch you guys later.